Baby, it's cold outside, and when it is, there's not much better than a nice hot bowl of soup to warm you up and knock that winter right out of you. Y'all have asked me for some soup recipes, and you've asked me for some easy recipes, so I decided to combine the two. So if you can open a can and a package, then this one is for you. This is a creamy garlic Parmesan cracked chicken soup. And I'm telling you right now, when you try this, you're going to want to have this one again and again. Just do me a favor and don't tell people how easy this is to cook, because you're going to look like an absolute superstar by opening some cans and some packages. So get your can opener and your hands ready for this one. You're going to absolutely love it. Stick around. The first thing you'll want to do is get a couple of tablespoons of this minced garlic ready. If you don't mind doing something outside of opening a package, I'm going to take all these garlic cloves first and just give them a good smash. For me, this extra 30 seconds of time is worth it. For you, it might not be. Now, I'm not going to mince these up just yet, and I'll tell you why in just a minute when I get ready to do it. So I'm going to take these, set them to the side, and let's get started on the rest of the soup. So I've got a regular size soup pot here. I'm just going to put that on low heat. I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of butter and about a tablespoon of a good olive oil. You can use avocado oil if you want to. The next thing I'm going to do is take about an equivalent of a medium-sized onion and just dice that. This is like extra large. We don't have a such thing as a medium onion or a large onion even in South Carolina. It's all XL. So now this is optional too, but if you can do this, you just diced an onion. So I'm going to turn this up just a little bit, get this butter melted down. As soon as it is, I'll show you what to do next. Once that butter is melted down, I'm going to throw in this diced onion. And I'll put links in the description to all the things I use in these videos. And the recipe will be down there for you too. Now the reason you want to do this garlic ahead of time is because when you crush it, it releases something called allicin. So it's antimicrobial, antibacterial, has some cardiovascular benefits, helps with blood pressure and cholesterol. Ideally, you want to leave it for 15 minutes. That's when all the allicin in it has the greatest benefits. And then you want to chop it up. I mean, this sounds like an excessive amount of garlic, right? And if you don't like that much, don't put that much in there. But you know, around here, we haven't had a vampire sighting in over 20 years. Not only do we use a lot of garlic here, but how some people decorate their Christmas tree with ornaments, we use garlics. Sounds weird, right? But hey, the results speak for themselves. No vampires. Coincidence? I think not. I'm going to chop this up. I'll be right back to show you the next step. Once the onions have gotten nice and translucent like that, I've minced this garlic up, and this is really, if you're using this, 4 or 5 cloves of garlic. Those crappy little garlic cloves don't really count. I'm going to leave this in there for about 30 seconds. You don't want that garlic to burn, and I'm up to about a medium heat right now. Now I've got 4 cups of bone broth here. This is my homemade bone broth that I had frozen. And I'll leave a link to that recipe right up there. If you're using that crappy stuff from the store and you make this yourself one time, you will never go back to that again. This is still frozen, but I'm going to pour it right in. And since it's hot in here, that's going to melt it. That wasn't quite 4 cups. I'm going to go in with another cup of just water and some of this bone broth powder, just to give it a little extra something something. That's what happens when you don't make enough bone broth. You run out and you have to use that powder. But hey, that stuff right there is a whole lot better than that old runny broth they try to say is bone broth. I've seen chicken broth that looks better. So this is 8 ounces of cream cheese. Put that right in the mix. Along with 1 cup of heavy cream. Just get the cleanest heavy cream you can find. One thing I've found lately is they're not so clean, but I got a solution coming for that real soon. Just let that cream cheese melt completely and get real happy in there with the rest of them. And once it is, I'll be back to show you what that looks like and what to do next. Next, if you got some leftover bacon, I know I'm living in a fantasy world where there's actually such thing as leftover bacon. I actually cooked some up in my microwave bacon grill. 7 minutes, comes out perfect, no fuss, no mess. And got a little bacon grease in there to throw in here. You know, just for a little extra flavor, because why not? The rest of it I'll pour right in here. I'm gonna go ahead and chop this bacon up. While that cream cheese is melting down, I'll be right back to show you the rest. So just save some for later. The rest of this is going right in the soup. Now this is where I might lose you, but hang with me here. I know this is gonna be hard, but I think you can do it. First thing I got is a can of this chicken. This is just all natural chicken. It's fully cooked, no water added. This is 28 ounces. You just want to check the ingredients on these and make sure all you want in there is chicken and sea salt if possible. Now this is another acceptable one that they have at Sam's, natural chunk chicken breast. Now it is in water, but the only ingredients, chicken breast, water, and salt. So that one's fine too. I'm actually going to use both of these cans. That's going to give me almost 3 pounds of chicken. So if you don't want it that chickeny, you don't have to, but I'm trying to do this in high protein for me. So I'm going to open these up and just drain the water off. Now you can make this as complicated as you want to. If you want to cut down your own trees, kiln dry them, start a fire, go pluck some chickens and throw it over a low flame for 10 hours, 12 hours, hey, feel free. For me, I'm going to use a can and dump it right in. I mean, you can really have this stuff on the stove in no time. Just break all that up. I'm going to add that other can in a little bit, but I'll show you what it looks like if you just use 28 ounces. It's about 1.75 pounds of chicken. So you could use rotisserie if you wanted to. Hey, however you want to do it. Now that that chicken's in, I'm going to go ahead and season this. I've got 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, half a teaspoon of smoked paprika, half teaspoon of salt, and half teaspoon of black pepper. This is the coarse ground pepper, but you can use a fine pepper if you want to. You can pick a pepper. Throw that right in the mix. Give that a good stir. Then, and stick with me here, this is 8 ounces of shredded Parmesan cheese. Now you can shred it yourself if you want to, but for me, this is great. Look at the ingredients here. All you've got is cultured milk, salt, and enzymes. A lot of times in cheeses, they'll put anti-caking agents and things, but this is clean, and it saves me about 5 minutes of grating, so that's gonna go right in. I'm gonna give this a good mix. I'm gonna let it thicken up a little bit. Let all these flavors in here get real well acquainted in this pot for about 10 minutes or so, and I'll be back to show you the final steps. After this is simmered for about 10 minutes, you're just gonna go in with your favorite type of green. Now this is organic baby spinach. It's always good to use organic, whatever kind of greens you're gonna use. They spray this stuff like crazy, and so you wanna pay a little bit of extra money to get organic. And I know the oxalate police are already down in the comments furiously typing. And if you are, you don't have to put this in there. Just admit the vegans are stronger than you are and keep on rolling. Anyway, open that up. That's 5 ounces. Throw in the whole thing. And don't worry, just like any kind of greens, as soon as that heats up a little bit, that's going to shrink down in there. You're not going to have a whole pot full of greens. Just push that up under. Funny how the people that eat the most oxalates never complain about oxalates and don't seem to have any problems. Wonder what gives. I know, I did a video on it. This is going to get nice and wilty for 2 or 3 minutes, and then we'll move on to the next step. At this point, you got to decide on how thick you want it to be. This is where we're at now. And look, once this stuff cools, it's going to kind of gel up because we got that collagen from the bone broth in there. We got cheese in there. But if you're going to serve it, think about what you want to serve it with. If you go to heat this back up, you're just going to add in a little water, a little more broth or whatever. This is the consistency we're at right now. If you want it a little thicker than that, go in with some of this xanthan gum. Get a half teaspoon of that, sprinkle it all over the whole thing, and then give it a good proper stir. Make sure and get it in pretty quick. This stuff will clump up on you. Turn up the heat a little bit. That'll help activate it. It needs to get up to a boil. And then we're going to bring it back down to a low, let it simmer for a few minutes, and I'll show you what it looks like right after that. Hey, and make sure while you're working with this, you're scraping the bottom of there because you'll get some of that Parmesan cheese down the bottom. You don't want it to stick and burn or anything. But that little bit of flavor you get from down there is amazing. I'm going to be right back to show you how I like to serve this up. I want to show you what this looks like before I go in with this other can of chicken. I mean, come on now. I mean, that is a high protein, high fat, Beautiful soup right there. So I'm going to serve it up just like this. A little bit of that soup. A little bit of bacon on top. Then if you want a little bit of heat, just a little bit of crushed red pepper on there. I'm going to serve that with a piece of this Southern Keto crackling cornbread. You're going to want to get you a bite of this. Now y'all, if you've been watching for any length of time, you know I threw some stuff in that video that's going to get some people riled up. So make sure you come back to the comment section. It's going to be a blast. Let me try this out here. Y'all listen, I'm telling you, this stuff is creamy, delicious, warming, comforting. I mean, it checks all the boxes. Another recipe you may have never seen is my chili recipe. If you haven't, check it out right over there. I think you'll absolutely love it. And I'll put a playlist down at the bottom with a lot of other soups and nice, hot, hearty, comforting things for you. Y'all, thanks for watching. Hit the like button on the way out, and I'll see you on the next video.